certain guys, and we track them throughout the year. And those guys, like Doc said, are all 5-stars does. You can go down the line. I was talking to Chuck the other day about guys that we've had in the program that weren't recruited at all. You know, you think of Chase, Hancock, and Malik Gant, and those guys. Ryan B wasn't real highly recruited, so stars are great and all, but you got to trust your evaluation throughout the year and target the guys you go after, and then track them for the 6 months, whatever it takes.
So the fans see that they oh wow, 4 or 5 star,
yeah.
They see all that, but you know you're not looking for just on the surface. You're looking for what fits the program, what helps you.
Yeah, no. I mean, you're looking for specific qualities of certain positions and what your team needs. And defensive back wise, we're looking at certain things. Some 4 and 5 star guys may not have those things, so you got to do what's best for the team. And at certain positions, so you look at certain things, and some of those writers don't always look at those things. The guys that rate those guys, I don't know who those guys are. So, I mean, it's nice when you find a good player that's a 4-star and Twitter likes it and we like it, and all that's great, but it's not really what it's about for us.
You look at a guy like Dante Walker, though, somebody that was highly recruited, highly touted on the social medias, but to get him here, what does that do for a class, and does that sort of resonate with the rest of recruits that he touches with social media?
Sure. I mean, his stuff's warranted. I mean, shoot, you watch his tape. I mean, he's twitched up like crazy for a guy that size. But sure, it helps. And around here, I've been around since 2013, and with Doc being here, he always seems to grab a guy or 2 or 3 around this time with those high accolades that it's warranted. And obviously, Dante got all that stuff. That's all warranted. I mean, just you turn on the tape, it's pretty easy to see with him.
How about a guy like Knowledge McDaniel? I'm sure he'll be the first Marshall player ever to have that first name. Is there a story behind him or his family or anything?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of people in that community that's helped him out. Obviously only played 4 games this year, but his potential speaks for itself. His versatility on the offensive side of the ball. I talked about it earlier on the show. Tim likes to throw those wheel routes and stuff out of the backfield. You watch his tape. He really plays a ton of wide receiver. He catches the ball a lot. I think his versatility will be incredible for us. It's always nice to get something different out of his running backs. I mean, Knox is such a big back and a tough guy to tackle. I think Knowledge, it complements him pretty well.
You look at some of those guys that you're talking about, the Knowledge McDaniels, that only 4 games. Does the signing period changing early in December and then the February allow you to evaluate some of those guys that got hurt in the high school season a little bit better and sort of look at their attributes instead of just productivity and looking at stats so much?
Yeah, I mean, I think Doc does a great job of always having the mindset that we're never going to turn away a good player, and I think that kind of works in that way. And like you said, we're holding a couple spots still at this point. Our strategy is always to hold a few spots after that December date and see who's left out there, who we thought maybe wouldn't be out there at that point because certain guys pop up for whatever reason, whether it's injury or whatever it is. Guys are available after that first signing day that maybe you hadn't targeted throughout the whole year. And then same thing at this point. I mean, we're always looking to better the roster. And Doc does a great job of holding scholarships available for guys like Knowledge or whoever after this signing day that's still out there, whether it's a transfer or whoever.
The guy who's already on campus was Johnson. Was that his name?
TJ, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he was originally a Power 5 recruit, spent a year at Minnesota. Yeah. How do you all get in on a guy like that, or how did you make contact?
Well, actually, J.C. Price went out there in December to those Kansas JUCOs, and he actually went out there to recruit Josh. So he came back with some names. Carpenter was one, and TJ was one of some guys that he picked up as he was out there. Because that trip, you're not just going out there to one of those schools. You're going, there's a couple of them out there you're going to go hit, and some names popped up at that time. And TJ, he walks in the door, you're going to see why we like him. And like Doc said, I think he came in at like 240 when we started recruiting him. He's already up to 270. He's just a big guy that moves really well. You see why he had such big offers coming out of high school.
You got a few more in-state guys. How important is that for you guys to focus on some in-state guys and bring them down here, especially in the way they play?
Huge. I mean, that's where we start. When we starting last week, we really started to work on that 2020 class, it all started with West Virginia. We evaluate the West Virginia kids first, and that's what we're going through right now in the process. So in-state guys are incredibly huge to what we try to get done. And I think it's by the way we recruit. It all starts with the in-state kids. So, we've had success with guys here in the past. Obviously, Owen and Jacob and those guys are here now. And getting a guy like Amir, from in-state guys. Tristan was a guy that we liked this time last year. I remember watching his film, and obviously we didn't have Alex was here at the time, but I was kind of waiting for the offensive line coach to show up. And Greg came and watched him, said, dude, get him to camp. His film's really good. So it all starts, this time of year is where it starts with the West Virginia kids.
Good.
Thanks.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.